Good morning, church family. Pastor Brett here, and to visitors, welcome to our devotional channel here at Rockhampton Baptist. We can achieve a lot without God. What? Did he just say that? Yeah, you heard me right. We can achieve a lot without God. Plenty of people throughout history have made enormous achievements in their lives that weren't believers. You just think of historically the advances in science and medicine and technology and engineering and transport and communication, just to name a few. There have been incredible and amazing achievements, many of them made from people that have no faith at all. So it is possible to achieve things without God. It's biblical too. Do you remember the story of the Tower of Babel? When the people got together and decided that they would build a tower reaching to the heavens. And God is recorded as saying, we better go down and stop them, otherwise nothing will be impossible for them. God didn't want them to advance too quickly, so he went and interfered. So why does Jesus say in John 15:5, apart from me you can do nothing? Well, it's one of the many of those verses that actually needs to be understood in the context of the passage rather than plucked out. Actually, this section we're about to read has quite a few verses like that can be easily misunderstood by plucking them out. So let's have a read at what Jesus actually says in John chapter 15, verses 4 to 8. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it's severed from the vine. And you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Yes, I am the vine and you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit, for apart from me you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. But if you remain in me, and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want, and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. The context here is that Jesus is speaking in terms of spiritual fruit. You cannot achieve kingdom results with human effort. The metaphor he uses is the grapes on the vine, and the fruit he's talking about is the life that brings glory to God. In verse 8 he talks about God getting much glory from the fruit that we produce. And so the kinds of things that the Bible means when it uses the term fruit or kingdom fruit are things like the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, all of those. Good deeds, for example. Jesus says, let your light shine that others can see the good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. So good deeds, a life full of good deeds. Faithful witness, being able to explain the message of the gospel in a way that makes sense to people, to help lead them to a saving knowledge as well. That is fruit. A Christ-centered life, that is fruit. All these things are what we would call fruit of the kingdom, and you can't produce those unless you've got Jesus in your life. Jesus calls his disciples to remain in him. The phrase we use is walk with him. It's the same thing. Do what Jesus says. Trust him with your life. Live for him. And your life will produce kingdom fruit. And that's really what verse 7 means when he says, ask anything and it will be granted to you. This is not some kind of self-centered gratification vending machine type of promise. This is about living lives for God that are backed up by God. Living in his strength for his priority with his resources and power. That's what that's all about. We can live our lives on our own, of course. We can choose to do that, making choices based on our own priorities, our own desires. And we may achieve many things doing that. But our calling is not to do that. Our calling is to live for the kingdom. Our mission is to bring glory to God to live holy lives, and to lead others into a faith journey. You can only do that in His strength. So, keep walking with God. Keep talking with Him. As you read the Bible, He speaks back to you. Listen, trust and obey. Keep looking for an opportunity to bless others. And we'll see you soon.